Did you know your brain could be silently dying right now without showing any obvious symptoms that most doctors would recognize? It's happening to thousands of seniors across America, and by the time they notice something is seriously wrong, it's often too late to stop the damage. In this video, I'll reveal 5 silent warning signs that your brain is deteriorating after 70. Critical signals that most doctors either miss or won't tell you about. Recognizing these subtle changes now could be the difference between maintaining your mental sharpness for years to come or facing rapid cognitive decline that robs you of your independence and personality. William was always known for his sharp mind. At 74, he still managed his own finances, enjoyed complex novels, and never missed his weekly chess matches with friends. But his family started noticing small changes in his behavior. Forgetting a grandchild's name, misplacing his keys more frequently, becoming uncharacteristically irritable during family gatherings. When they mentioned these concerns to his doctor, they were told, "It's just normal aging, nothing to worry about." 6 months later, William couldn't remember how to get to the grocery store he'd been visiting for decades. By the time they discovered these had been early warning signs of serious brain deterioration, it was too late for the most effective interventions. Had they recognized these silent signals earlier, William's mental decline could have been significantly slowed. The tragedy is that his story repeats itself thousands of times every day across the country, but it doesn't have to be your story. Let's dive into the 5 critical warning signs your brain is silently deteriorating, signs you can spot before most doctors would even consider them serious. Sign 1. Subtle changes in sleep patterns. The first silent sign your brain is deteriorating happens while you're asleep, without you even realizing it. Have you noticed you're waking up more frequently during the night? Or perhaps you're waking up much earlier than you used to, unable to fall back asleep. These seemingly innocent sleep changes could be the very first indication that your brain is in trouble. Neuroscientists at Johns Hopkins University have discovered a direct link between disrupted sleep patterns and accelerated brain deterioration in adults over 70. Their research shows that certain types of sleep disruptions appear up to 5 to 7 years before any obvious cognitive symptoms emerge. What's happening is that as brain cells begin to deteriorate, they disrupt the neural pathways that regulate your sleep-wake cycle first, before affecting your memory or thinking skills. Take Patricia, a 73-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She had always been a sound sleeper, but gradually began waking up at 3 a.m., unable to fall back asleep. Her husband also noticed she seemed more restless at night, sometimes calling out in her sleep. When she mentioned these changes to her doctor, they simply prescribed sleeping pills without investigating further. 2 years later, Patricia began experiencing significant memory problems. A neurologist finally connected her earlier sleep changes to the beginning stages of brain deterioration. Precious time that could have been used for intervention was lost. Here's what you need to do immediately. Start tracking your sleep patterns. Keep a simple notebook by your bed and record when you go to sleep, how many times you wake up, and when you wake up for good. If you notice consistent fragmented sleep or early morning awakening, don't just accept it as part of getting older. Implement a strict sleep routine. Go to bed at the same time, avoid screens for at least an hour before bedtime, and keep your bedroom cool and dark. If sleep problems persist for more than 2 weeks, don't ask for sleeping pills. Instead, request a referral to a neurologist who specializes in sleep and brain health. This simple step could give you a critical early warning that something isn't right years before more obvious symptoms appear. Are you already noticing changes in your sleep patterns? Don't wait to take action. Your brain's health depends on it. Sign 2. Declining sense of smell. Have you noticed certain familiar scents don't seem as strong as they once were? Perhaps you can't smell your morning coffee as vividly, or you've stopped noticing the fragrance of flowers in your garden. This subtle change could be one of the earliest and most overlooked signs that your brain is deteriorating. Harvard Medical School researchers have discovered that declining sense of smell isn't just a normal part of aging, it's often one of the first warning signs of neural degeneration. Their studies show that up to 90% of patients with early-stage brain deterioration experience olfactory decline up to 4 to 6 years before cognitive symptoms become apparent. This happens because the neural pathways responsible for smell are among the first to be affected by the same protein changes that later damage thinking and memory centers. Robert, a vibrant 75-year-old from Florida, was puzzled when he realized he couldn't smell his favorite coffee anymore. He mentioned it casually to his wife, who suggested his sinuses might be blocked. His primary doctor agreed, prescribing antihistamines without further testing. For months, Robert and his family missed this critical warning sign. It wasn't until he began having trouble remembering recent conversations that anyone connected these seemingly unrelated symptoms. By then, brain scans showed significant deterioration that had been silently progressing for years. Here's what you must do today. Test your sense of smell regularly with common household items like coffee grounds, cinnamon, lemon, or mint. If you notice a decreased ability to identify these familiar scents, don't dismiss it as unimportant. Most crucially, find a neurologist who takes olfactory changes seriously. Many primary care doctors won't. Request a formal smell identification test called upsit or sniff-in sticks, which can detect subtle changes. Early intervention with specific supplements, lifestyle changes, and emerging treatments can significantly slow deterioration if caught at this early stage. Don't wait until more serious symptoms appear. By then, irreversible damage may have already occurred. Is your sense of smell as strong as it was a few years ago? This simple question could save your brain. Sign 3. Changes in handwriting and fine motor skills. Your handwriting holds hidden clues about your brain health that most doctors never think to check. Have you noticed your signature becoming smaller, shakier, or less consistent? Or perhaps buttoning a shirt or handling small objects seems more challenging than before? These subtle changes in fine motor control could be silently signaling that your brain is in trouble. Neurological researchers at UCLA have found that changes in handwriting and fine motor skills often precede diagnosable cognitive decline by 3 to 5 years. Their studies reveal that the neural pathways controlling precise hand movements are particularly vulnerable to early deterioration, making handwriting analysis a powerful but underutilized tool for early detection. The medical term for abnormally small handwriting, micrographia, is now recognized as one of the earliest detectable signs of certain types of brain deterioration. Consider Scarlett, a 77-year-old former bookkeeper from Chicago. Her family noticed her handwriting on birthday cards becoming increasingly smaller and shakier over the course of a year. When her daughter mentioned it, Scarlett dismissed it, saying, "My hands are just getting older." Her primary doctor echoed this sentiment during her annual checkup, missing this critical warning sign. It wasn't until Scarlett began struggling with her checkbook calculations that her family insisted on seeing a specialist. The neurologist immediately recognized her handwriting changes as a classic early warning sign of brain deterioration, one that had been evident nearly 2 years before any cognitive symptoms appeared. Here's what you need to do. Start monitoring your handwriting today. Keep samples of your signature and handwriting each month in a dedicated notebook. Practice writing exercises daily. Even something as simple as copying a paragraph from a book can help maintain neural connections. If you notice your handwriting becoming smaller, more cramped, or less consistent, don't accept it as just shaky hands. Instead, Seek out a neurologist who specializes in movement disorders and bring your writing samples with you. Early intervention with specialized exercises, certain supplements, and emerging treatments can help preserve both motor function and cognitive abilities, but only if caught before significant deterioration occurs. Have you checked your handwriting lately? The story it tells about your brain health might surprise you. Sign 4. Subtle personality changes. Has someone mentioned you seem different lately? Perhaps more irritable, withdrawn, or less interested in activities you once enjoyed? Or have you noticed yourself becoming unusually apathetic about things that used to bring you joy? These subtle personality shifts could be silent signals that your brain is deteriorating before any memory problems become obvious. Neuroscience research from Stanford Medical Center has revealed that personality changes often occur 2 to 3 years before diagnosable cognitive decline. Their studies show that the brain regions controlling emotional regulation and motivation are particularly vulnerable to early deterioration. What's truly concerning is that these changes are often dismissed by both doctors and family members as just getting older or being grumpy, when they actually represent significant neurochemical changes in the brain. Thomas, a 73-year-old retired accountant from Virginia, had always been engaged with his community, volunteering weekly and maintaining an active social life. His wife began noticing subtle changes. He became less interested in his volunteer work, more easily annoyed by minor inconveniences, and uncharacteristically pessimistic. When she expressed concern to their family doctor, she was told, "He's just settling into retirement." It wasn't until Thomas began having trouble balancing his checkbook a year later that anyone recognized these personality changes as early warning signs of brain deterioration. By then, precious intervention time had been lost. Here's what you must do now. Ask someone close to you if they've noticed any changes in your personality, mood, or level of interest in activities. Their outside perspective is invaluable, as these changes can be difficult to recognize in yourself. Keep a daily mood journal, noting your energy levels and emotional states. If you find yourself consistently less interested in activities you once enjoyed, more irritable or emotionally flat, don't dismiss these changes. Seek out a neuropsychologist who can conduct specialized assessments designed to detect subtle personality shifts related to brain health. Early intervention with targeted supplements, lifestyle modifications, and certain medications can help maintain emotional regulation and potentially slow cognitive decline, but only if these changes are recognized as the serious warning signs they truly are. Are you really just getting older? Or is your brain sending desperate signals that something isn't right? Sign 5. Difficulty finding the right words. This silent warning sign is often dismissed as a senior moment, but it could be signaling that your brain is in trouble. Have you found yourself pausing mid-sentence, searching for a common word that just won't come to mind? Or perhaps you're using more general terms like thing or stuff because the specific words elude you. This subtle change in language ability could be one of the most important early warnings your brain is giving you. Research from the Alzheimer's Association Brain Imaging Program has shown that difficulty finding words often appears 2 to 4 years before significant memory problems. Their studies using advanced brain imaging reveal that the language centers of the brain often show changes long before the memory centers are affected. What makes this particularly dangerous is that most people, including many doctors, mistakenly believe occasional word-finding problems are normal at any age, when they actually represent significant changes in brain function. Helen, a 71-year-old former librarian from Seattle, had always prided herself on her expansive vocabulary. Gradually, she began struggling to find specific words during conversations. She would describe an object instead of naming it, saying things like, "the thing you write with," instead of "pen." When she mentioned this to her doctor, He reassured her it was normal aging. Her family also dismissed it as typical senior moments. It wasn't until Helen began having trouble following complex conversations a year later that a neurologist recognized her earlier word-finding difficulties as a critical warning sign of brain deterioration that had been progressing unaddressed. Here's what you need to do today. Challenge your brain's language centers daily. Read out loud for 10 minutes each morning, as the act of converting written words to speech engages multiple brain regions. Try word-finding exercises. Describe objects around your house using the most specific terms possible. If you notice persistent word-finding difficulties, don't accept them as normal. Instead, seek out a speech-language pathologist for a complete language assessment, which can detect subtle changes long before standard cognitive tests. Certain targeted supplements like phosphatidylcholine, specific language exercises, and emerging treatments can help maintain neural connections, but only if implemented before significant deterioration occurs. Are you struggling to find words more often than you used to? Your brain might be trying to tell you something important. Now you know the 5 silent warning signs that your brain could be deteriorating: subtle sleep changes, declining sense of smell, changes in handwriting, personality shifts, and word-finding problems. Recognizing these signs early can make all the difference between rapid decline and maintaining your brain health for years to come. The power of early detection cannot be overstated. Intervention at the first sign of these changes can potentially add years of healthy brain function to your life. Don't wait until these subtle signs become obvious problems that even the best doctors can't reverse. Remember William from the beginning of our video? His story doesn't have to be yours. By staying vigilant for these 5 warning signs and taking immediate action when you notice them, you can potentially preserve your cognitive function, independence, and quality of life for many more years. Your brain is sending you signals right now. The question is, are you listening? If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more potentially life-saving health information. Comment below which of these 5 warning signs surprised you the most, or if you've noticed any of them in yourself or someone you love. Share this video with anyone over 65. This knowledge could literally save their brain function before it's too late.